Hey folks, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and yeah, I cut my hair. I faced my my fears of the razor and went ahead and did it. Sadly, mostly because it was just getting way too hot, man. It's getting way too hot, and it's just unsustainable. But anyways, let's talk about some more important stuff over here, which is, well, SS May and Mega Blaziken, who is dropping later tonight. So make sure y'all are subscribed, notifications on, all that stuff. So we could, we could get notified as soon as we go live to pull for SS May and Blaziken, right? So, anyways, SS May Blaziken, a Pokefair, right? Part of the Hoenn arc, and she is a really good unit. Very good unit. Fantastic unit, in fact. So we already went through most of her kit already, right? When we first went through everything when the info first dropped, right? So I'm not gonna go over that too much in detail. Just gonna point a few cool things out, right? That she does. First of all, she is a Mega, right? She does go Mega Blaziken, and then she goes like some crazy 508 attack stat over here, and then 429 speed, which is a lot of attack and speed. That's a lot of attack and speed, right? And then yeah, Blaze Kick, which is a 4-gauge move, but 3-gauge because of the fact that she has fuel economy, so she decreases the move gauge spent to use moves, right? So that's why Blaze Kick looks like this. So it's a, relatively high power BP move, although also relatively low BP for a 4-gauge move, but for a 3-gauge move, it's very high, at least. So there's that, right? Then you got Dire Hit All Plus, because you have to have techs doing everything nowadays, which is basically what techs do anyways. So that's cool. Buff your entire team's crit. You got Low Sweep over here, which is not good, not very good. And then you have Fired Up over here as well, which is move gauge acceleration for your team. Reduce sync move countdown by 1, and then raise your attack by 4 and raise accuracy by 1, which is actually really important, the sync move countdown, even though you only have one use, right? Because of the fact that at base she has Head Start 2, so she enters the battle with Head Start 2, and then I said I was just gonna go over the important things, and I'm going over everything. I couldn't Low Sweep now. All right, so what she has that is very good. Sync move countdown, very good, right? 2 + 1 is perfect. So that's one cycle off your sync move countdown. So you could sync after turn 2, straight up after turn 2, you could sync, right? Very powerful. She basically has a Leer sync move countdown shred over there, right? And after you sync, right, after your Mega, right, for her specifically, you get Propulsion 1, 20% chance of reducing sync move countdown by 1. Which is nice, but again, I don't think it's as significant as the first set of sync move countdowns. And then you get Defense Destroyer 9, which debuffs the opponent's defense by 2, guaranteed, right, every time you hit them. So this is kind of like Dojo Gloria's gimmick, except Dojo Gloria is like -3, and then SS May over here is -2, right? She does have a lot of similarities to Dojo Gloria, I feel, right? So yeah, the Sync Nuke innate is the opponent's defense lord, right, which is obviously very good. And in terms of any cool nodes that are worth mentioning, right, in terms of like, if you are pulling for how many copies you want, at 1 out of 5 you don't really have anything really good, honestly. You just have like a few Blaze Kick power-ups, which is cool, I guess, right? And then at 2 out of 5 you do get some good stuff. You get Fast Track 9 over here, which is definitely very nice to have. Although it's not as nice if you don't have 3 out of 5 because you don't have inertia. But I mean, speed in of itself is solid, although it's not like necessary either, right? Because of the fact that when you do come in, you do get like +2 speed for your entire team. So she's like she's a damage healer that debuffs your opponent's defenses, speed if you want, although I'm not a huge fan of that. Shreds sync move countdown, buffs your team speed, debuffs defense. I think I already said that, but whatever. Right? And then big damage, right? So she's very powerful. Obviously, does a lot of great things. And then outside of that, you also have Speeding Sun 2, and then Slippery 2, which gives you some evasion for some reason. I don't really know why, but it gives you that. But there's also a attack plus 20 note over here, as if she, didn't already have enough attack. So yeah, she again doesn't get too much at 2 out of 5 either. Most of her stuff is at 3 out of 5. Her big multipliers, right? Insult to injury, inertia, her sync move power up nodes, cakewalk over here, right? Adrenaline can be useful too, and then all the other sync move power up nodes, right? So. Alright, that being said, in terms of a damage healer, right, because that's what she really, is. Again, she does a lot of other great stuff to help your team, but she is also the number two highest damage healer in game that only has, like, that in terms of, like, single target moves, right? Like, if you count AoE, I think SS Serena still does more and stuff, but if we're just talking about units that have that their strongest damage dealing move is a single target move, right? She has the second highest in the game, and not very far off from number 1 in the game, right? Which is ground zone boosted SS Giovanni. So yeah, number 2 in the game, right? Again, in terms of single target damage, with Blaze Kick, which is very freaking good. That is very, very good, right? And in terms of her sync, she is also among the, like, top 10 in terms of sync if you're running a DPS grid. If you run a full sync nuke grid down here with, like, Cakewalk as well, you could theoretically be the number 1 nuker in the game, except for the fact that she can't really max everything out on the first sync, right? So she's kind of in a situation where, like, Nessa was before Nessa got the help of Dojo Gloria, right? So she's at, okay, I could maybe potentially be the number 1, sync nuker in the game, but at the moment, missing a few things to get everything maxed out in the first sync, right? So maybe in the future, maybe they'll throw in some other unit that could, I don't know, just help debuff both, or just, I guess, buff speed a bit better, right? Because that's the main thing that she is lacking a bit, because, like, everything else, you could have, like, Dojo Gloria to help max out her multipliers, and then also Morty to, like, set up Sun or whatever, right? But she's missing +1 speed for max inertia, although I don't know if she is the number 1 nuker in the game if we only go by, like, +5 speed inertia. But the other thing is, in terms of, again, like, syncing with her on the first sync, she does also have the issue of she is way too OP in terms of sync moves, countdown shredding. You sync on turn 2 instead of turn 3. So instead of having 3 turns to, try to max out all your multipliers, you only have 2 turns. I mean, obviously, you don't have to sync on turn 2, but I would recommend syncing on turn 2, even if you don't max out your multipliers. Go sync on turn 2, man. That just, it's so much better for your overall team DPS, right? Especially if you do have a EX support like a Shiny Ho and SS Morty, right? So yeah, she's definitely she's easily gonna be a top tier unit, right? I mean, she's basically like Dojo Gloria, right? Again, a very, very similar units to Dojo Gloria in terms of it's a damage deal that is an insane nuker for one, and an insane regular DPS damage healer, right? And then on top of that, debuffs the opponent's physical defenses, right? And then again, they also do have some differences, obviously, in terms of what they do. For example, May also shreds sync move countdown. May also buffs teams, crit, right? Then the move gauge acceleration, right? May got a lot of gauge stuff for the team as well. And then if it's team speed buffs, right? And if you look at Dojo Gloria has the max moves, which are nice, right? Dojo Gloria has the I would say much better speed debuff, unless you really want to pick up like trip up 9 and then like low sweep the opponent, then okay. then it's relatively similar to speed debuffs. But which Dojo Gloria still has an advantage of 1 more extra speed buff per hit, right? So, or debuff per hit. So yeah, she is pretty similar in many ways to Dojo Gloria, I do find. and both of them are obviously very, 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 very good units, right? So I mean, if you're wondering, oh, if you really want to pull for one of these kind of units, which one you want to go for, it's really up to you, man. I feel like they're basically incredibly similar. Just go for whichever one you like more, I'd say, right? If you like Blaziken, Mega Blaziken more, pull for May. If you like or May and Mega Blaziken more, pull for May. If you like Gloria and Urshifu more, go pull for Gloria, right? You know, go for it. Yeah, I don't think there's a significant enough difference between them to really justify pulling for one over the other. But also, that being said, do not pull for either of them yet. Again, good units. Do keep in mind, this is still only part one. Only part one of the Hoenn Villenark, right? Only part one of the Hoenn Villenark. We haven't seen any Hoenn Master Fairs yet, right? We haven't seen what's in part two. We haven't seen what's in Anniversary. And do keep in mind, that last data download that happened, the content only goes up to August the 8th. Which is, what, 10 days from now? We only have 10 days of content in that last data download. We're still missing 20 days worth of content, right? At least in August. So there's definitely going to be more units coming, right? Whether it's part 2 of Hoenn Villenark, whether it's other stuff, whether it's run up to the anniversary units, right? And then also, obviously, you know, at the end of the month, it's the actual anniversary units, right? So as good as they are, right, I can't really give, and she's easily going to be a top tier unit, right? That being said, I would give her a let's do another 7.5 out of 10, right? Pull rate for free to play players. Again, if you're a whale, go for it. She's really freaking good. All right, if you spend money on this game, whatever, pull for her. All right, she's incredibly good. But if you are free to play, all right, I do think it's this best strategy is still to wait, right? Best strategy is still to wait. Even if you really want this May, right? At least see what's coming in the next batch. At least see what's coming in the next batch, right? So just chill a bit. It's a fantastic unit, right? Fantastic unit. I mean, you guys saw how good Dojo Gloria was, right? You guys already saw how Dojo Gloria was. She's like Dojo Gloria, but like fire type, right? And with, again, different attributes. They all have, both of them have their own. Again, they're similar, but not exactly the same. They have their own, you know, different advantages, right? So it's a good unit, man. It is an absolutely good unit. I mean, like, you can't, even if you like just take away like everything else on our kit, you take away the whatever, the utility stuff, right? The number 2 damage dealer in the game, DPS in the game, right? When it comes to only single target moves. that's pretty impressive feat in of itself, all right? That's pretty freaking good in of itself. Just take away all the other stuff. Just in terms of damage dealer, right? That is really freaking good. And then you add in all the other stuff that she does to help her team. And yeah, wow. It's a great unit. Can't say anything bad about it, right? It's just, again, just wait a bit, man. Just wait a bit. Just one more week. Well, a bit more, over a week. Well, okay. The content ends on the 8th, but we might not like get a data download exactly on the 8th, right? It might be a few days after. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they decide to do. But yeah, again, the best strategy is still to wait, unless you're well and you have like a billion gems. But yeah, as for me, as usual, I will not be waiting, unfortunately. Not taking my own advice ever. I will be pulling immediately when she drops. So again, make sure to tune in, have fun. If you guys are pulling, good luck, right? I mean, if you're like a massive May fan, she's like your favorite character, Blaziken's your favorite Pokemon, go for it, right? You don't have to care about anything else in the world. Right? Just go for it. But otherwise, yeah. Good luck, folks who are pulling. Again, just a suggestion. I'm not stopping anyone from doing what they want. All right. So have fun, folks. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.